Hey guys, I'm Seth.
And I'm Shane, and we are Team New Zealand that were competing at the 2017 Daytona 200.
Our journey started 3.5 weeks ago with a cheeky phone call, and I said to Shane, hey, we might be smart to have a nudge at this 200 thing. Here we are, we've just done it.
Right from the outset on our journey, things were just stacked against us completely. We took a fair bit longer to do the bike that we would have hoped to do. We had a little bit of a rattle in the engine, which we rebuilt down in Fort Lauderdale, and then I proceeded to snap a bolt in the motor, which took us down to getting the motor out of the bike again. But we persevered, we made it through.
When we just finished building the engine, we realised that our shock was actually missing. Someone in the airport security had kindly relieved us of our rear suspension, so a bit of an emergency call, and we got a shock underway, and then some absolutely massive generosity from New Zealand meant that we ended up with a replacement rear shock. Thursday morning we arrived at the track hoping to be greeted by a bike and a pile of parts and some tools and get into it. But we didn't actually have a bike till 3 in the afternoon, which meant late night dyno till 2 in the morning. It meant not getting a whole bunch of quick change stuff fitted early enough. It just meant a lot of pressure for Friday. And then rolling on into Friday, we realised that our forks weren't going to fit because the variation is slightly different in New Zealand, so we had to get a triple clamp off of eBay, and the girls kindly drove to Fort Lauderdale at 4:30 in the morning, picked it up and arrived back by midday to mid-afternoon. So finally, by the last qualifying session, we had our forks and our new shock in, but before then we'd already had electrical problems with a tip-over sensor, meaning the first session was completely wiped.
And at that point in the day, that was about midday, we had 3 hours till our last session, and it wasn't looking like we were going to get our front suspension in at all. But thankfully, Lenny, the K-Tech lad from the USA, managed to get our front forks all sorted for us. So we had the new triple clamp in, front forks all done. We managed to get it in just in time for the last session, and managed to go out and qualify 11th with taking a further second off my best lap time.
Come the race, a couple of restarts at the start of the race, which meant we could make some changes each time, which we were using as like 1 lap test sessions effectively to get the bike in better shape, because we'd missed out on effectively 75% of the test day on Friday, so we were kind of lucky for that. Shane had a run on at the bus stop on the first lap of the first start, but the restart meant that we got a kind of get out of jail free card, and by the time the race got underway officially, we were 7th, so wrapped. 7th on your first ever start at Daytona after possibly less than an hour's worth of actual useful track time is pretty outstanding.
Definitely pretty proud of what we've achieved, even though we didn't get to finish the race, which we would have loved to have done. It was through no real fault of our own, It happens in a 200-mile race. It's hard on equipment, and we knew that was a real possibility that you could have a mechanical failure or something like that. But the quick change pit stop. So Seth made our quick change at home in New Zealand, so it was a custom made job. We did not do a practice run of our pit stop at all. We knew that it kind of wasn't working, our quick change kit, because the axle was having to come out with a bit of assistance from a hammer. But yeah, the crew we got together worked well together, and on our one and only pit stop during the race, we pulled in, the axle came out like a dream, the wheel came out perfectly, went back in beautifully, the axle got back in, and for our first run at having a pit stop, I think we did bloody well.
Yeah.
We absolutely nailed it. So
Credit
yeah,
goes to the boys for that, for sure.
Yeah, definite credit to all the team that helped us out. Thank you very much, guys. We really appreciate that. And yeah, from there we were planning on going flag to flag on a Pirelli front tyre, which we believe hasn't been done before from what we hear. And what do we get? I think about 43 laps, and it was still looking good, so we would have been sweet. But obviously not to be at the end of the day.
yeah, for those of you that don't know, at the around the 40 odd lap mark, fourth gear decided it wasn't going to play ball, so Shane was going from third to fifth. And then from there things only got worse to the point where it wouldn't select the gear and it was just in a false neutral as he coasted into the pits. So the race was over for us, unfortunately. The A-team, the American New Zealand team members, the boys that stepped up to our Facebook call and made our crew, man, massive thank you, especially to John and Matt who just slaved, and Bart who slaved over the bike, and I was working flat. I just could not have physically got all the jobs done without them. So those boys, massive thank you. Sharon Woolwich and Vinny DeVito, the dyno guy, and Woolwich Software, man, those people stepped up for us big time, and we didn't even know them. I made a phone call on the Thursday or Friday and to Sharon Woolwich in Australia, never met the lady before, and those guys stepped up massively for us. Kevin Goddard from Race Supplies in New Zealand, William Tapata for a shock. I mean, who shells out for a shock to people you don't even know? Unbelievable. Lenny from K-Tech, man. These people are just legends. Like, literally, we would have been stuffed without them. All the boys that are around us in the pits, garages either side, borrowing us tools, and Jason Farrell borrowing us tools, borrowing us bits of equipment. Some random team we didn't even know gave us a screen because Shane kindly punched it out with his head as he tucked the front. So every time something went wrong, the American people just stepped up and helped us out, and we did nothing to deserve that. So this, even though it's a loss, this proud moment, I guess you could say, belongs to those people really, because we were just doing it on a wing and a prayer, and they stepped up and made it really possible, I think. These are the girls. These are the girls that didn't get enough thank yous in the video. These are the girls that drove to Fort Lauderdale at 4 o'clock in the morning to pick up a lower triple clamp. These are the girls that went down to Home Depot, bought some roofing panel or whatever it's called, Ecutile Diamond White, had it cut into squares to make a pitboard, and then out of tape made numbers, hung it over the fence and got the pit information.
Two laps left and the bike went down.
You guys want to say anything?
No, I'm shy. Overall, this was a really good time.
Better than just being in Ohio in the snow?
Yes.
Rick Richardson here. We're leaving Daytona. Sad moment. Look at the place. Look at how extraordinary it is. We'll be back. Pretty sure we will, but anyway. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's just all catching up with us. It's been a long week and a bit so far. It's been good though. We're happy. We had a lot of bad luck and we're still smiling, so it can't have all been that bad at the end of the day. Met a lot of cool, crazy people. A lot of just crazy people. And this one security guard we met too.